If you're running a business, you've got a website. It's just a fact of life. And if you have a website, there's a moment of sheer panic that, let's be honest, is pretty much inevitable. So let's talk about what happens when your digital front door just slams shut.
So picture this. It's the middle of a business day, and your website is just gone. Who do you call? It sounds like a simple question, right? But for so many business owners, the answer is a complicated, panicked mess. Your customers can't find you, and you are literally losing money by the minute. So who's picking up that phone?
Okay, let's get specific. It's 9 a.m. on a Monday. A brand new customer is trying to visit your site, but instead of your beautiful homepage, they get hit with a big, ugly error message. Or maybe even worse, spammy ads. This isn't just some hypothetical nightmare. For a lot of people, it's a reality that's just waiting to happen.
And the scale of this problem? It's kind of staggering. This isn't just about a little bit of bad luck. We're talking over 500 WordPress websites getting hacked every single day. Whether it's a plugin that breaks or your hosting company has a failure, the threats are constant, and a lot of them are totally automated.
So this is the crucial point, right here. We have to stop thinking of website problems as a maybe, as an if. We have to start treating them as an inevitability. The real planning isn't for if it breaks, it's for who is going to fix it. Who is your go-to person when that digital fire starts?
Now, when it comes to getting website support, most business owners fall into one of three really common traps. Let's walk through these so-called solutions and talk about why they often end up creating way more headaches than they solve.
First up, we've got the rugged individualist. You built your site yourself on a platform like Wix or Squarespace, maybe WordPress. You're the CEO, you're the head of marketing, and now, congratulations, you're also the very reluctant head of the IT department. And the reality of being your own IT person, well, it's a frantic scramble. You're up late Googling these cryptic error codes, watching YouTube tutorials at 11 p.m., and waiting in these endless support queues, only to finally get a reply that says, sorry, that's actually outside our scope of support. Ugh. And just think about this. More than half of all WordPress vulnerabilities come from something as simple as not updating your plugins. See, plugins are just little pieces of code, and old code can have security holes that hackers are actively searching for. Not clicking that update button, it's kind of like leaving your front door wide open.
Okay, so maybe you went the other route. You paid a professional agency a good chunk of money to build a beautiful custom website. So you're covered, right? Well, not exactly.
You see, the agency business model is built around landing big projects, not handling small fixes. As soon as your site launches, their focus immediately shifts to the next big client. So when a tiny problem pops up 6 months down the road, you get hit with these huge hourly rates because your quick question is now a low priority support ticket at the bottom of their list.
All right, so if DIY is a huge time suck and agencies are way too expensive, what about hiring a freelancer? I mean, they seem like the perfect middle ground. More affordable, more personal, but this approach has a really critical weakness. A freelancer is just one person, and that one person can go on vacation. They can get swamped with bigger, more important clients. They might take a full-time job. Or, in the absolute worst-case scenario, they could just disappear. Your entire website's health is depending on the availability of just one single person.
And you know what? The data tells pretty much the same story. Poor communication is a factor in over half of all failed projects, and a whopping 70% of freelancers are trying to juggle multiple clients at once. So when your site goes down, your urgent fix is competing for their attention, and chances are, it's losing.
Look, this isn't just about being inconvenienced. This is about a serious, real risk to your business. And it all starts with this dangerous idea that a lot of small business owners have about how vulnerable they are to hackers.
This is probably one of the most common and damaging things we hear. Oh, my business is way too small to be a target. The logic kind of makes sense on the surface, but the reality is the complete opposite.
In fact, small businesses are targeted almost 4 times more often than giant corporations. But why? Well, it's because hackers know your defenses are probably weaker. They're not looking for your business by name. They're running automated scripts that scan the internet for any site with a known weakness.
And the result of that is this shocking number. 43% of all data breaches happen to small businesses. You see, you're not too small to be a target. Your size is exactly what makes you a target.
And the consequences? They can be absolutely devastating. This isn't just a bad day for your business. It can be a business-ending event. A staggering 60% of small businesses that suffer a major cyber attack are forced to close their doors within just 6 months. So the main point here is that keeping a website healthy isn't just about fixing things when they break. It's about all the preventative work that has to happen behind the scenes. Work that most business owners don't even realize needs to be done in the first place. This is like the invisible to-do list for your website. Constant software and plugin updates, renewing your SSL certificate, that's the thing that gives you the little padlock icon and keeps data safe, running daily backups, keeping an eye on performance, and making little content changes. If nobody is specifically in charge of this list, trust me, it's not getting done. Okay, after all of that stress and panic, let's totally pivot and talk about what a real solution actually looks like. What does it feel like to have your website truly and completely handled? I want you to forget the late-night YouTube tutorials and the phone calls that never get returned. Just imagine this instead. You notice a problem, you fire off a quick email, and then you just go on with your day, totally confident that by the time you check again, it will simply be fixed. No drama, no negotiating a quote, no panic. So this alternative is what's called a managed service, where everything on that hidden checklist, the security, the updates, the backups, even small content changes, is just handled for you. It's a model designed specifically for small businesses, giving you peace of mind for a flat, predictable monthly fee. For example, a service like UGrow, based in Esso County's own Arroyo Grande, or AG, provides this exact kind of comprehensive support. It's all about having a team in your corner so you can get back to focusing on your actual business. So the final question is really this. After seeing the risks of DIY, a crazy cost of agencies, and the unreliability of freelancers, what if you could just take this entire problem off your plate for good? It's not about if your website will need help. It's about having that solution in place long before you even have to ask the question. Thanks so much for joining me for this explain.